name is Brittany Liz, and it's time for a bookshelf tour. So it has been since like 2014, I believe was the last time I did a bookshelf tour, and so it's time to update y'all on what's on my bookshelves. So real quick, this is my bookshelf. I have 3 sections that have books, and then the last 2 have movies and TV shows, and I'll do a separate tour for that section. And then I also have some books over here, and we're going to start over here, but one sec before we do that, gotta show you what I'm reading at the moment. I'm still reading Suicide Squad, the official movie novelization by Marv Wolfman, and After You by JoJo Moyes. I'm hoping to get these finished before the end of the year, but we shall see. Starting over here, we have some yearbooks, some magazines, some Dr. Seuss and Disney books. And then we have the Twilight Stephenie Meyer section, as you can see. So at the top we have the director's notebook by Catherine Hardwicke. Then we have the graphic novel, volume 1 and 2 of Twilight. Then just my battered copy of Twilight. Then the 10th anniversary edition of Twilight, which concluded Life and Death. Then we have New Moon, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, The Official Illustrated Guide, and The Host. Then over here we have my manga. We have Alice in the Land of Clovers, Treasure Cat, Volume 1, Treasure Cat Waltz. Then Mars, Volume 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 13, all by Fuyumi Soryo. Hopefully I can get the entire collection of that series, because that's one of my favorite manga series. Now, over to the bookshelf. All my books, they are organized alphabetically by author's last name, but sometimes size-wise, like with right here and right here, and if it gets tight here, I have to put the book that fits. So some of these might not be alphabetical. You don't have to tell me, I know, and it frustrates me to no end, but I can't help it. Size of the books get in the way. But anyway, here we go. So first we have Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor, Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews, Emma by Jane Austen, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe by Fannie Flagg, The Diary of Anne Frank, Horns by Joe Hill, and then I have volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Tanya Huff's Blood books. Volume 1 contains Blood Price and Blood Trail. Volume 2 contains Bloodlines and Blood Pack. And Volume 3 contains Blood Debt and Blood Bank. And that's a series that if you ever watched Lifetime's Blood Ties, that's the book series the show is based on. But then we also have Counterfeit Sun by Elaine Marie Alphen. And then The Shining by Stephen King. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. And then My Sister's Keeper and Sing You Home, both by Jodi Picoult. Then I have Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Then I have my Nicholas Sparks books. And this is not all the Nicholas Sparks I have. There's more down below, but this is the ones that I have up here. We have A Walk to Remember, Message in a Bottle, The Longest Ride, Safe Haven, Best of Me, and The Notebook. Then we have these 2 Charmed books, Truth and Consequences and A Tale of Two Pipers. Then I have my Lois Duncan books. We have Gallows Hill, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Killing Mr. Griffin. Then I have 1984 and Animal Farm by George Orwell. Then I have Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Then The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. And then Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Then I have my Ellen Hopkins. I love Ellen Hopkins. And she's one of my favorite authors. And here are what I have so far for books. I still have quite a few I need to get, so hopefully I can get the rest of them someday. But I have Cranked, Burn, Impulse, Glass, Identical Tricks, and Fallout. Then we have Cut by Patricia McCormick, and then we have Lolita, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the author's last name. I know it's Vladimir, yeah, it's something, I don't know. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I'll butcher it. I know I will. Then we have Star Wars The Force Awakens, the novelization by Alan Dean Foster. So that was the front. I'm going to move all of these, and we'll see what's behind them. Okay, so I removed the front, and now let's see what was behind it. Then we have Speak by Lori Halse Anderson. Then we have Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Then we have Emma, another copy of Emma by Jane Austen. I have Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. Then we have Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, Pride and Prejudice, and Sense and Sensibility, all by Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen, can you tell? Then we have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Then Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Then right here in the corner, I have a Doctor Who quiz book. And then when I went to see Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, they gave out this little booklet that has the first couple chapters of the Pride and Prejudice and Zombie book. But I kept it. I like it, so I kept it. Then I have In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. The TV show cover of City of Bones, the first book in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. Then we have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. Stolen by Lucy Christopher. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Struck by Lightning by Chris Colfer. Dash and Lily's The Book of Dares and Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, both by Rachel Kahn and David Levithan. I hope I'm pronouncing their names right. Then I have The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Then we have The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Along for the Ride by Sarah Dessen. Room by Emma Donoghue. And then I have Volume 1 and Volume 2 of The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Then I have Perfect Chemistry and Rules of Attraction by Simone Ugglas. Then I have this, I really love this cover. It's The Great Gatsby by S. Scott Fitzgerald. But I just love this cover. Look at this cover, guys. It's gorgeous. Then I have Gone Girl by, is it Gillian or Jillian? I think it's Gillian Flynn. Then I Was Here and If I Stay by Gail Forman. Then I have the Castor Chronicles series by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. Beautiful Creatures, Beautiful Darkness, Beautiful Chaos, and Beautiful Redemption. Then I have Looking for Alaska and Abundance of Catherine's Paper Towns. And I'll show you right here, Will Grayson, Will Grayson, all by John Green and David Levithan. But yes, so that's all from the first shelf. Now we're going to move down to the second shelf. Okay, so here's the second shelf, and I already said I have Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. Then I have Chantress by Amy Butler Greenfield. Then I have book 1, 7, and 9 in the Twitches series by H.B. Gilmore and Randy Resfeld. Now, what's horrible is I've only read The Power of Two, which is the first book in the series, and I haven't read Kindred Spirits or Split Decision because of the simple fact that I do not own books 2 through 6 and then book 8. Like, how can I read Kindred Spirits if I don't have 2 through 6? I need to fix this, guys! I need to fix it now! Anyway, yeah, I own those. And as you can see, I've read Power of Two a lot. Then we have Eon by Alison Goodman. And To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. The Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. The Known World by Edward P. Jones. The Duff by Cody Keplinger. The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. Pretty Baby and the Good Girl by Mary Kubica. Then, what the fuck is this? Oh my god, I don't know what happened here. Why is that even there? Lowry goes here. Why is she in between these? Oh my god. I fail at life. I have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and The Girl Who Played with Fire, both by Stieg Larsson. I probably butchered his name, but sorry. Then we have The Giver by Lois Lowry, where it should be. I Hunt Killers by Barry Lygas. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Then I have Walk On, Celestial Land and Sea, and Hallowed Be Thy Name, all by Amy McLean, an awesome YouTuber who writes awesome books. I've read these two. Haven't read Hallowed Be Thy Name yet. I'm hoping to get to that one soon, but these two were really good. I will leave a link down below to Amy's YouTube channel so you can check her out. Then we have Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, and right here is supposed to be After You, but as I've already explained, I'm reading it, so that's why it's not in the spot. Harkin by Caleb Nation. Then I have The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk? I think I said his last name right. I think. Then we have A Child Called It, The Lost Boy, and A Man Named Dave, all by Dave Pelzer. Then we have Anna and the French Kiss and Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. Jodi Picoult book, Plain Truth. Then I have The Bell Drive by Sylvia Plath. Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. Then I have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Random Riggs. Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. Divergent by Veronica Roth. The Vampire Kiss is the Beginning by Ellen Schreiber, and it contains Vampire Kisses, Kissing Coffins, and Vampireville. I need to get the rest of the series like ASAP. Living Dead Girl by Elizabeth Scott. Then we have Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet, both by William Shakespeare. So now I'm going to move all of these so you can see what's behind them. Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it. They're on the bed. They better stay on the bed. And I know, they're horribly piled. I'll fix them later. Anyway. Back to this. Next we have the first book in the Pretty Little Liars series by Sarah Shepard. Then we have, I'm just going to put that there. Then we have the first volume of Vampire Diaries, The Awakening and the Struggle. And then The Fury and Dark Reunion by L.J. Smith. Then we have, I told you I had more Nicholas Sparks. They're right here. But then we have Dear John, The Choice, The Last Song, and The Lucky One, all by Nicholas Sparks. Then we have The Help by Catherine Stockett. We have the Veronica Mars book, $1,000 Tanline by Rob Thomas and Jennifer Graham. Then I have the Balefire series in one volume by Kate Tiernan, and it contains a chalice of wind, a circle of ashes, a feather of stone, and a necklace of water. Then I have all 15 books in the Sweep series by Kate Tiernan. It's one of my favorite series. Volume 1 contains Book of Shadows, The Coven, and Blood Witch. Volume 2, which you probably can't see, but it contains Dark Magic, Awakening, and Spellbound. Volume 3 contains The Calling, Changeling, and Strife. Volume 4 contains Seeker, Origins, and Eclipse. And then Volume 5 has Reckoning, Full Circle, and Night's Child, which is why Volume 5 is the thickest, because Night's Child was a little thicker than her other books are. Then we have Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. The Color Purple by Alice Walker. In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. Then we have the Selection series. The Selection, The Elite, and The One, all by Kira Cass. Then we have the Land of Stories series, The Wishing Spell, The Enchantress Returns, and A Grim Warning by Chris Colfer. Then Catching Fire and Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. Then I have Isle of the Lost by Melissa De La Cruz. Then I have The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. And then we have The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. That was the second shelf. Now we're going to move on to what's in here. So here's the third shelf, which is mainly hardcovers. There are some paperbacks. Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. So first, we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay by J.K. Rowling. Then we have more books falling. Then we have The Cursed Child, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany and Jack Thorne. Then I have The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. Then we have Silkworm, which I believe is the second novel by Robert Galbraith. Is this a sequel to The Cuckoo's Calling? I don't really know. I feel like it is. The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. Then we have Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Rowell? I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Then we have This Is Where It Ends, and oh my god. I'm not going to try to pronounce her name because I know I will butcher it, but this is the author's name. Then we have The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. Okay. We have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, Vampire Diaries, The Return Nightfall, The Return Shadow Souls, and The Return Midnight, all by L.J. Smith. Then I have Black Widow Forever Red by Margaret Stoll. And then up here we have Trumbo by Bruce Cook. You're Never Weird on the Internet, Almost, by Felicia Day. And this is sort of, right here is where I have like all my biographies and stuff like that. We have Mindy Kaling's Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns. The Heroine Diaries by Nikki Sixx. I Am Malala. Then we have Sarah Bareilles, Sounds Like Me. A Little Bit Wicked by Kristen Chenoweth. My Journey to Main Event of WrestleMania, Yes, by Daniel Bryan. Then Buffering by Hannah Hart. Being Jazz, My Life as a Transgender Teen by Jazz Jennings. Then Why Not Me, Mindy Kaling's second biography. Binge by Tyler Oakley. The Only Pirate at the Party by Lindsay Sterling. Then we have some more classics here in these really cool covers. But we have Aesop Fables, Hans Christian Andersen's Tales, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, The Brothers Grimm Fairy Tales, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and Other Stories by Robert Louis Stevenson, and Dracula by Bram Stoker. Okay, then we have Brunette Ambition by Leah Michelle. Then we have Hamilton, The Revolution, which is by, I believe it's Lin-Manuel Miranda and Jeremy McCarter. Then we have Downton Abbey by Julian Fellows, the complete scripts for Series 1. Then I have Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. I have my little collection of comic books, graphic novels that I've been getting recently. I have, let's see, Batman, Mad Love, and Other Stories. Then we have Black Canary, Kicking and Screaming, Volume 1. Then we have Black Canary and Zatanna, Bloodspell. Then we have Harley Quinn's Greatest Hits, and Harley Quinn Volume 1, Hot in the City, Suicide Squad, Kicked in the Teeth, and then V for Vendetta by Alan Moore and David Lloyd, and then The Killing Joke by Alan Moore and Brian Boland. So yeah, that's this shelf. So here is my Kindle, and here are the books I have in my Kindle. I have Prodigy, the second book in the Legend series by Marie Lu, then Champion, the third book, Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi, Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry, November 9 by Colleen Hoover, and then I do have Legend, and then I have The Favorites Kindle single by Kira Cass, The Queen, and I have The Guard, The Prince, The Siren, all by Kira Cass. Then I have Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins, and I have Doctor Who, The Angels Take Manhattan by Justin Richards. Yeah, that's what's on my Kindle. And thus ends my bookshelf tour. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to be actually filming my DVD shelf tour next, so you can be on the lookout for that. But yeah, this has been my updated bookshelf tour. If you have read any of the books that I showed in this video, please tell me down below if you like them, dislike them, if I should read them. No spoilers though, please, no spoilers. Because I can admit I have not read every book on my shelf. I need to get on that. I'm very behind. But yeah, so like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Until next time, goodbye guys.